Folks, on Tiger-Cats Pregame, presented by Greenworks, all of our favorite friends and segments, including lineups, John Salavanis and his pregame salutations. TSN's 1050 Matthew Cos is our guy on Speaking with the Enemy, and he has his car star keys to victory. The Tiger-Cats First Lady of Fun and Fashion, but first, he is the Commissioner of the Canadian Football League. He is Mr. Randy Ambrosie, and he is in the house along with us. Randy, thank you so much for joining us. And I'll tell you, it's Friday Night Football, a rivalry that has been going on for hundreds, it appears to be hundreds of years, and I think you've caught the fever, and that's why you're with us right now.
Well, you wouldn't want to miss this one. You don't want to miss a beautiful night here at Tim Hortons Field. Andy said it, it's going to sold-out house. The energy is, you can feel the buzz in the building. Even, I was here 45 minutes ago. There's a lot of energy, and this is an interesting game. And just as we saw a rookie quarterback in Crum in Ottawa last week come up with a phenomenal effort to lead Ottawa to a victory, we got another rookie stepping in tonight. Behind a pretty good line and with a pretty good team. So it's shaping up to be a good game.
Randy, the attendance is sold out here tonight. It's spiking in areas like BC, and it's improving in Toronto. There's maybe in Edmonton it's a little bit down, but overall, what can you speak about the attendance around the league and the state of the ticket sales?
Yeah, look, it wasn't that long ago, and the two of you know this. It wasn't that long ago. The entire narrative on this league was, what are you going to do with your major markets? I was in Montreal last week with Pierre-Karl Palado, and what a football game, and what an amazing energy in that building. And there's an excitement for what he's doing. There's an excitement for his leadership of that team, and you can feel it in the stadium. And they're selling more tickets. Go across to the other end of the country in Vancouver with the Mardome, and obvious energy, and they're selling tickets. There's a buzz in that building. And Toronto has been moving the needle really well. And a big shout out to Bill Manning and Chris Schufelt and Michael Clemens. Look, they got a good football team, but in respect of all of the league, they've got the biggest revenue growth jump in their game day revenues year over year. So there's some good things happening there. Look, I just think there's lots to feel good about. We still have work to do, but there's lots to feel good about across the league, and certainly here tonight in Hamilton.
Yeah, that's great to hear. The CFL seems like it's in a good spot, and nobody knows better than you. What are some successes from a league perspective of 2023? And then I guess following up, what would be some challenges that you still face right now?
Well, certainly, go back to the beginning of the year, we were surprised by a decision for the previous owners in Montreal that they were going to move on. But we had done so much groundwork to lay the foundation for ownership transition. And literally in about 6 weeks, we went from one ownership group to another, virtually seamless. A local owner that they haven't had in Montreal for, 40 years. They've got a local, dedicated, committed owner. I'd say right now, to kick off 2023, that was the big success. TV ratings have been growing week in and week out. Last week, an average of 600,000 fans a game, but the real number, a 25% growth in our 25 to 54 category. That demographic is the demographic that sponsors love. And that is the fastest growing and biggest success we've had so far this year. So, those are two things that you really point to. Last weekend's games, look, if you're a football fan, I don't care if you like 4-down football, 3-down football, 12-down football. If you watched last weekend, you had to love what the CFL is all about. So I call that put that on the list of successes. Look, we're working hard at our business. I think that the challenge overall is execution. We have good plans. Look, we launched a new stat system this year. It wasn't exactly what you'd call a robust success, but what we're doing is investing in our own future. What we're putting in place now is a system that's going to give us infinitely greater capacity to bring in a new generation of fans. And so the challenge is to keep looking forward and not be afraid to stumble. If all you ever do, Andy, seriously, for all the success you've had, if all you ever do is the things that are guaranteed to work, you'll never go anywhere. So you have to be willing to do big things. You have to be willing to stumble. And you got to trust, which I do, you know, the owner of the Hamilton Tiger-Cats, Bob Young, you have to know he's got your back because he wants us to do big things too.
Well said. And talking about the future of this league, we know that the whole pandemic put a real wrench in the Atlantic Schooners plan. Is there anything you can share as far as updates on that front?
Well, look, we're there next week. The game on the 29th, sold out. We've added more tickets in a fun zone, which I expect will be as it's built. It'll be a lot of fun. Look, on a really positive note, we have had conversations with groups that are very interested in owning that franchise. Now, they also need to know where are we going to play football. There is very healthy conversations happening about the kind of building we can start with to get a franchise started. So, you know, look, I'm going on Tuesday. We'll have some conversations in the marketplace. But look, it's a great market. I think it's a perfect CFL market. It's a place we want to be. Now, as I've said to them, look, we couldn't love you anymore. Like I could say to Atlantic Canadians, on behalf of the CFL, big heart emoji, right? Like we want to be there.
Yes.
But now what we need is that region to pull us in the rest of the way, and I'm hoping in the weeks to come that we're going to hear more good news about that region's interest in bringing a major league sport, the Canadian Football League, to Atlantic Canada, and have us be an anchor tenant for Atlantic Canadians.
Yeah, that would be great, and I love the way you put that about the big heart emoji, and then they gotta reel us in, and I agree, and I know that there's a lot of appetite for it out there, so we can hopefully that keeps.
And Andy, the good news is I'm like a big fish. I'll bite on that hook. Like if they cast that that hook into the water, trust me, we're going to bite. We've got our governors. You know, you can't say enough about them. You can't say enough about this board of governors. First of all, never in this league's history, never have we had stronger ownership than we have in the Canadian Football League today. We also have a group of governors that are thinking big. They're thinking long-term. You know, we're gotten past that short-term thinking, long-term thinking. Let's grow, let's build, let's make investments in our future. That you can be pretty excited about.
I guess maybe I'm a bit of a geek and I kind of follow this kind of stuff too. We're so strong across the league with the fans, the TV deals, everything's going great. How about the relationship with the players? How's that going?
Yeah, it's improving. And, you know, Bubba, I'm so glad you asked, because here's what's fascinating about the players. You know, I'm starting my 7th year. And what I realized early on is we were always bargaining with the players. Short-term deals, and we were literally in a constant state of bargaining. Now with this long-term deal, we're actually thinking about and you have to learn how to be a good partner. You have to learn how to work together. I went to a meeting with Brian and Solomon, who I respect greatly, and I actually challenged them that we weren't doing enough, and they actually pushed back and said, Randy, we think we're on the right track. We know we're doing good things. There's tensions that we have to work out, but I think we're on the right track with the players. We need to make them our partner, and they need to make us their partner, and I believe we're on the right path.
Randy, we're running short on time here, and I'm going to ask this question to the caretaker himself later, but a little bit short term. The Grey Cup is back in Hamilton. Any thoughts you want to share on air with the Ticat fans?
Well, look, I think when we were here last, which was a league-run Grey Cup, obviously just on the heels of COVID, and this city did a great job. Now we get to come back and do the big thing. We get to come back and do the whole thing. Look, I'm just really excited. I've been listening to Scott and Matt talk about the plans. They're going to be rolling out some of those plans in the weeks and months to come. But look, I think this will be the place to be. The CFL and the Grey Cup is the biggest annual sporting event in the country. I think it's going to be fantastic, and I invite all of Canada come to Hamilton and just see how amazing it can be.
Especially when the Ticats are in the game.
See, Bubba, this is one of these times where I'm just not going to argue with you.
He is the commissioner of the Canadian Football League, and we really appreciate you taking time for us on the Ticats Audio Network. Randy Ambrosie, continued success, and enjoy tonight's game.
I will. Thank you very much.